Have you ever wondered why some people seem to unlock success almost effortlessly, while others struggle endlessly, feeling stuck despite all their effort? What if the secret to their success isn't just hard work or luck, but something far more powerful, something that starts right inside their mind? Your brain holds the key to everything you want to achieve. It's the invisible engine driving your thoughts, decisions, and actions every single moment. If you want to change your life, you have to start here, with your mind. Imagine if you could train your brain each day to focus only on what will move you forward. Imagine waking up with a clear sense of purpose, your thoughts aligned with your deepest goals, and your brain wired to spot opportunities instead of obstacles. The truth is, success doesn't happen by chance. It begins the moment you choose to prime your brain for victory, before the day even starts, before challenges come your way. This is more than just thinking positively. It's about preparing your mind to perform at its highest level, no matter what life throws at you. Right now, your brain is reacting to the signals you send it. Every thought, every emotion, every belief shapes the neural pathways that govern how you see yourself and the world. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough or that success is out of reach, your brain starts to believe it. But here's the powerful truth. Your brain can be rewired. It can be trained to focus on strength, courage, and possibility. This means the limits you feel are not fixed. They are flexible, waiting for you to reshape them with intention. When you prime your brain, you set the stage for your mind to work for you rather than against you. You build mental habits that prepare you to act boldly, think clearly, and handle setbacks with resilience. Staying engaged in this process promises something incredible, the ability to transform your life from the inside out. Because when your brain is primed for success, you begin to notice opportunities others miss. You approach challenges with confidence instead of fear. You tap into a well of energy and creativity that pushes you beyond your current limits. The biggest reward is this: you no longer feel at the mercy of circumstances or self-doubt. Instead, you become the master of your future. The moments you invest in priming your brain become the foundation of every achievement you want to claim. This video will guide you through the essential steps to awaken this power within you. Practical, science-backed ways to reshape your mind so success isn't just a dream, but a daily reality. If you stay with me, you'll discover how to harness your brain's natural abilities to focus, adapt, and grow. You'll learn how to build mental habits that energize your motivation and sharpen your clarity. And you'll be equipped to face any challenge with a mindset designed for victory. This isn't about hoping for change or waiting for luck. It's about taking control of your brain, the most powerful tool you have, and using it to create the life you deserve. You're about to unlock the first step to becoming unstoppable. Keep listening, because your future depends on what you do right now. What does it really mean to prime your brain? It's not just repeating empty words or hoping for a change that never comes. It's a deep, intentional act of preparing your mind to see the world differently, to recognize possibilities where others see problems, to act decisively when hesitation tries to take over. Your brain is like a muscle that responds to training. When you give it the right signals, it adapts, sharpens, and becomes unstoppable. This is the science behind mental priming. Your brain is constantly scanning for cues, looking for patterns to guide your next move. When you consciously feed it success-oriented thoughts and habits, you create a powerful internal environment that automatically gears your mind toward achievement. This is the difference between drifting aimlessly and moving with purpose every day. It's not magic, it's the way your brain naturally functions. The key is learning to send the right signals, to prime your mind with intention before your day even begins. Your brain's wiring is highly sensitive to the subtle cues you give it. If you start your day doubting yourself or focusing on fears, your brain locks into a survival mode that limits creativity and courage. But when you prime your brain with confidence and clarity, it ignites motivation deep within your neural circuits. Suddenly, you are not just hoping to succeed, you're preparing your mind to succeed. This preparation shifts your whole perspective, allowing your brain to operate at peak capacity. You begin to notice opportunities that once slipped by unnoticed. You find solutions where before you only saw problems. Priming is not wishful thinking, it's a biological process that rewires your brain to seek out success, resilience, and growth. The mental environment you cultivate directly influences your ability to perform, to persist, and to rise above challenges. This process rewires your brain's natural instincts. Instead of reacting with fear or doubt, your mind learns to respond with confidence and determination. This changes everything because success is less about talent or luck and more about mindset. When you prime your brain correctly, you develop a mental edge that makes fear lose its grip and pushes you into action. You're no longer waiting for perfect conditions or external validation. Instead, your brain is trained to see potential in every moment and to act despite uncertainty. This is where transformation begins, when your brain becomes your ally instead of your enemy. The reward for this mental priming is profound. You'll experience a shift in how you approach life. No longer weighed down by self-doubt or paralyzed by fear, you'll tap into a well of inner strength you might not have known existed. Your brain will start working for you in ways that feel almost effortless, guiding you toward your goals with clarity and focus. The mental habits you build create a ripple effect in every area of your life, your confidence, your relationships, your ability to overcome obstacles. Priming your brain sets the foundation for consistent, unstoppable progress. This is the path to mastering your mind and ultimately mastering your life. It's not a distant dream or an impossible goal. It's a daily choice, a commitment to train your brain with intention and purpose. When you make this choice, you unlock a power within yourself that transforms challenges into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Your brain becomes a powerful tool for growth, success, and fulfillment. The moment you decide to prime your mind is the moment your transformation begins. Every thought, every focus, every habit builds the pathway to success you deserve. Your brain's ability to change and adapt is nothing short of extraordinary. This is the power of neuroplasticity, the brain's natural gift to rewire itself based on your thoughts, habits, and experiences. This means your current mindset and habits don't have to define you. Every moment presents an opportunity to reshape the very structure of your brain. When you understand this, you realize that success is not a fixed destination, but a continuous journey of mental transformation. Your brain can be trained to create new pathways that strengthen resilience, boost confidence, and enhance focus. This rewiring doesn't happen by accident. It requires deliberate effort and consistent practice. But once you start, you'll notice your mind responding with increased clarity, determination, and courage. Neuroplasticity shows us that our brains are not stuck in old patterns or limiting beliefs. Instead, your brain is a dynamic organ, constantly adapting to new inputs. When you prime your brain with positive, goal-oriented thoughts and actions, you strengthen neural connections that support success. Each time you choose to think differently, act with purpose, or push past fear, you build new mental circuits. These circuits become stronger the more you use them, making positive change easier over time. This is why the way you start your day and the mental habits you practice matter so much. They are the seeds you plant in your brain that grow into the mindset you rely on when challenges arise. The brain is your ally, ready to grow and evolve, but only if you lead it with intention. This process is empowering because it places the control squarely in your hands. You're not a victim of circumstance or your past mistakes. Your brain's plasticity means you can break free from limiting patterns and create a new mental landscape rooted in strength and possibility. This transformation feels like unlocking a hidden power within yourself, one that fuels motivation and sharpens your ability to handle adversity. When you accept this power, you stop waiting for external validation or perfect conditions. You become the architect of your own success story, building it from the inside out. Knowing your brain can change also helps silence the inner critic that often holds you back. That voice telling you you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, is just a product of old wiring, and old wiring can be rewired. By consciously focusing on growth, gratitude, and positive affirmations, you replace those limiting messages with ones that build confidence and hope. This rewiring doesn't erase challenges, but it changes how you face them. You gain mental flexibility and emotional strength to keep moving forward no matter what obstacles appear. When you commit to priming your brain with this understanding, you are investing in a mental foundation that supports all your goals. You train your mind to expect success and to respond with resilience, creativity, and courage. This is the essence of transformation, turning your brain into a powerful engine for growth. With every intentional thought, every new habit, and every moment of focus, you reinforce the neural pathways that lead to your dreams. Your brain is ready for this change, waiting for you to guide it toward greatness. The question is, will you take that step? Focus is the fuel that powers your brain's journey toward success. Without it, your mind wanders, your energy dissipates, and your goals slip further away. The ability to focus is not a natural gift reserved for a lucky few. It is a skill you can develop and strengthen like any muscle. When you prime your brain with unwavering focus, you direct your mental energy toward what truly matters. This focus sharpens your perception, filters out distractions, and allows you to engage deeply with your purpose. Imagine your mind as a lens. When it is clear and steady, it concentrates all light into a powerful beam that cuts through darkness. That clarity is what propels you forward. Every moment spent scattered or distracted weakens your momentum, while every moment of deep focus builds unstoppable force. The science behind focus reveals it activates the brain's reward system, flooding you with dopamine, the chemical of motivation and pleasure. This reward motivates you to stay engaged and push further, creating a cycle of productivity and achievement. When your brain feels the rush of accomplishment, even from small wins, it craves more. This craving is the brain's way of telling you that your efforts are working. Priming your brain to focus creates this positive feedback loop where motivation and action feed each other. You begin to crave challenge and growth instead of avoiding discomfort. This transformation rewires your brain to seek out success instead of surrendering to distraction or doubt. Deep focus also rewires your brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for decision-making, self-control, and long-term planning. Strengthening this area through intentional focus allows you to resist temptations and keep your attention anchored on your goals. This neurological training builds resilience against the endless noise that tries to pull your mind in every direction. You become mentally disciplined, able to prioritize what matters most even when distractions surround you. This discipline is not about rigid control, but about guiding your brain toward a purpose-driven state that feels natural and energizing. As your focus deepens, your brain releases chemicals that boost memory and creativity, equipping you to solve problems with clarity and innovation. The power of focus is felt in every area of life. It determines how you approach your work, your relationships, and your personal growth. Without focus, even the best ideas and plans remain unfinished dreams. But with focused attention, you turn vision into reality. The brain's natural wiring responds to this commitment by creating stronger pathways that make concentration easier and more automatic. What once required effort becomes second nature. This is the essence of priming your brain for success, creating mental habits that build unstoppable momentum. The reward is a mind that is alert, energized, and ready to seize every opportunity. When you understand this, you recognize that focus is more than just a tool. It is the foundation of your success mindset. It transforms how you think, feel, and act. Priming your brain to focus is a daily choice to eliminate noise, sharpen clarity, and commit fully to your goals. This choice rewires your brain to expect progress, resist setbacks, and push beyond limits. It fuels confidence and courage, allowing you to move forward with certainty. Your brain is waiting to be guided by your focus, ready to unlock the next level of your potential. The power to control your attention is the power to control your destiny. What will you choose to focus on today? Your emotions are the silent drivers behind every decision you make, every action you take, and every barrier you face. They shape your reality more than you realize. When you prime your brain for success, managing your emotional state becomes crucial. Emotions are not obstacles to overcome, but signals to understand and harness. The way you interpret and respond to emotions can either fuel your progress or sabotage it. Imagine the difference between letting frustration freeze you in place and using that same energy to propel you forward. Your brain responds instantly to emotional cues, wiring itself to either retreat or advance. Learning to steer your emotions with intention means taking control of this powerful force rather than being controlled by it. The emotional center of your brain, the limbic system, is designed to keep you safe by triggering fight, flight, or freeze responses. This system evolved to protect you from immediate danger, but in modern life, it often reacts to stress and fear in ways that limit your potential. When you feel anxiety or doubt creeping in, your brain floods your body with chemicals that prepare you to avoid risk, even if that risk is necessary for growth. Priming your brain involves training this emotional center to shift from defense to empowerment. This shift rewires your brain to recognize challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth and learning. You start to see discomfort as a sign of progress rather than failure. Emotional regulation is more than suppressing negative feelings. It's about acknowledging them, understanding their roots, and then consciously choosing how to respond. When you cultivate this awareness, you tap into a deeper level of mental control. You can replace panic with calm, doubt with determination, and discouragement with hope. Your brain's plasticity means these new emotional responses become your default over time, making resilience your second nature. This rewiring builds a mental fortress where fear no longer dictates your actions but serves as a guide toward what matters most. Positive emotions, like gratitude, joy, and confidence, are not just fleeting feelings. They are biochemical states that enhance your brain's capacity to perform at its best. When you prime your brain to seek and amplify these emotions, you unlock higher levels of creativity, focus, and problem-solving ability. The brain's reward system lights up with these positive states, reinforcing habits that support your success. This creates a self-sustaining cycle where motivation and positive emotion fuel each other, lifting you higher with every step forward. Your emotional mastery shapes your mindset, which in turn directs your brain's energy. A mind filled with hope and enthusiasm attracts solutions, builds connections, and sustains effort through setbacks. On the other hand, a mind trapped in fear and negativity creates resistance and drains energy. Priming your brain to cultivate emotional strength rewires these patterns, making success a natural outcome. This emotional transformation isn't a quick fix. It's a commitment to daily practice and awareness that rewires your brain for lasting change. The reward is profound. When you control your emotions, you regain your power. You become a force that moves confidently through uncertainty and adversity. Your brain becomes a resilient instrument tuned to success, fueled by emotions that drive growth rather than fear. The power to manage your inner world is the power to shape your outer world. Your emotions can either be your greatest enemy or your strongest ally. The choice is yours. Will you let them limit you, or will you prime your brain to use them as the fuel for your unstoppable journey? Every thought you allow to occupy your mind is a choice that shapes your reality. Your brain is a filtering machine, constantly deciding which thoughts to amplify and which to dismiss. Priming your brain for success means taking control over this internal dialogue, consciously choosing thoughts that empower rather than diminish you. Negative self-talk acts like a slow poison, draining your energy and shrinking your belief in what's possible. But when you replace that toxic noise with positive, purposeful thinking, you build a mental environment where confidence grows and limitations fall away. The power of your thoughts lies not just in their content, but in their frequency. What you think about most becomes your dominant mindset. Your brain doesn't distinguish well between vivid imagination and reality. This means the thoughts you rehearse mentally influence your emotions and actions just as strongly as real experiences. When you vividly imagine success, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you were actually achieving your goals. This mental rehearsal primes your brain to perform better, making success feel familiar and achievable. It reduces fear and hesitation because your mind has already experienced victory in advance. Conversely, rehearsing failure or doubt strengthens those negative pathways, creating mental blocks that keep you stuck. Choosing your thoughts carefully is like planting seeds in fertile soil. What you nurture grows stronger with every moment of focus. The concept of cognitive priming is rooted in this truth. Your brain reacts to the information it receives, shaping your behavior accordingly. When you prime your brain with empowering thoughts, you increase your motivation, resilience, and clarity. These thoughts become automatic, influencing how you approach challenges and opportunities. Over time, this mental conditioning rewires your brain to expect and create success. You stop waiting for external circumstances to change because your inner world drives your actions and decisions. This internal shift is the catalyst for lasting transformation. Changing your thought patterns is not about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what serves your growth and letting go of what holds you back. This requires awareness, a moment-by-moment attention to what you allow into your mind. It means interrupting negative spirals and replacing them with affirmations that reinforce your strength, capability, and purpose. Your brain thrives on repetition. The more you repeat empowering thoughts, the more ingrained they become. This mental discipline builds a foundation of confidence that sustains you through obstacles and uncertainty. Your thoughts directly influence your feelings and behaviors, creating a powerful feedback loop. When you think with purpose, you feel motivated, and motivated actions lead to progress. This momentum reinforces positive thinking, making success a natural outcome. Priming your brain with this cycle rewires your mental habits, turning fleeting motivation into lasting transformation. Your brain becomes a fertile ground where your deepest aspirations take root and flourish. You are not a passive passenger in your mind, but the deliberate gardener of your thoughts. The mental environment you create is your greatest asset. When you cultivate thoughts that uplift and empower, you prime your brain to achieve what once seemed impossible. Your mind becomes a powerful tool for growth, resilience, and success. The question is no longer if you can change, but when you will choose to take control of your thoughts and unlock the limitless potential within. Your environment is the silent architect of your brain's habits and success. Every person you surround yourself with, every place you spend your time, and every stimulus you expose your mind to shapes the neural pathways that govern your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Your brain is highly sensitive to context, absorbing signals from your surroundings and adjusting its wiring accordingly. If your environment constantly feeds negativity, distraction, or doubt, your brain becomes wired for limitation. But when you curate an environment that fuels positivity, focus, and growth, your brain rewires itself for resilience and achievement. This external influence is powerful, yet often overlooked. To prime your brain for success, you must actively shape your environment as a reflection of your goals and values. Your surroundings either anchor you to old patterns or launch you into new possibilities. They set the tone for how your brain functions daily. Environments rich with inspiration, challenge, and support activate your brain's reward circuits, releasing chemicals that boost motivation and creativity. In contrast, chaotic or toxic environments trigger stress responses that impair cognitive function and diminish willpower. Recognizing this allows you to take control of what you expose your mind to. This is not about perfection or isolating yourself from reality, but about intentional choices that protect your mental energy and elevate your mindset. The people you engage with, the media you consume, and the spaces you inhabit become tools to either strengthen or weaken your brain's capacity for success. Changing your environment sends a clear message to your brain: growth is your priority. When you remove distractions and negative influences, your brain reallocates resources to what truly matters. This shift boosts your ability to focus, regulate emotions, and stay motivated. You create a fertile mental ground where your thoughts, habits, and emotions align with your vision. This alignment fuels consistent action and builds momentum. Every small adjustment, choosing a healthier social circle, organizing your workspace, limiting toxic content, reinforces the neural pathways that lead to higher performance. These changes may seem subtle, but their cumulative effect is profound, rewiring your brain toward lasting success. Your brain craves consistency. When your environment consistently supports your goals, it reinforces your commitment and belief in your ability to succeed. This consistent input strengthens neural networks related to discipline, resilience, and creativity. The brain thrives on repetition, and an environment aligned with your purpose becomes a daily reminder of who you are becoming. It primes your brain to anticipate success and prepares it to overcome obstacles with confidence. This is the power of an environment tuned to your highest potential. It nurtures your growth at every turn. Priming your brain through environment is an act of self-respect and self-love. It is a declaration that you deserve spaces and relationships that uplift rather than drain you. It demands courage to distance yourself from negativity and discomfort, but that courage rewires your brain's reward system, making growth addictive. The brain learns to associate your environment with energy, clarity, and progress. This neurological shift transforms your mindset from one of survival to one of thriving. Your environment becomes a partner in your journey, supporting every step you take toward your dreams. The environment you create is the foundation upon which your brain builds success. When you take control of this foundation, you set in motion a powerful transformation that touches every aspect of your life. Your brain responds by becoming sharper, stronger, and more resilient. This transformation is not a luxury, it is essential. Your environment either fuels your future or feeds your fears. The choice to design your surroundings with intention is the choice to prime your brain for unstoppable success. How will you reshape your world to ignite the power within you? Your habits are the invisible architects of your brain's wiring and your destiny. Every action you repeat, every choice you make consistently, builds the neural highways that shape how you think, feel, and act. These highways become the automatic pathways your brain travels daily, determining whether you move toward success or drift into stagnation. Priming your brain for success means consciously designing your habits to strengthen the patterns that serve your highest goals. Habits are the bridge between intention and reality. When aligned with your vision, they turn fleeting motivation into unstoppable momentum. Without deliberate habits, even the strongest intentions falter. The power to transform your life lies in the small, consistent actions that reshape your brain, one moment at a time. Your brain craves efficiency, which means it prefers to automate behaviors to conserve energy. This is why habits are so powerful. They allow your brain to operate on autopilot, freeing mental space for higher-level thinking. When you build habits aligned with success, you essentially program your brain to perform at its best without conscious effort. These habits create a stable foundation, supporting your focus, emotional control, and resilience. They build momentum so powerful that setbacks cannot easily derail you. The brain's plasticity means these habits physically change your brain's structure, strengthening the areas responsible for discipline and willpower. Over time, this neurological transformation turns deliberate effort into effortless flow. Consistency is the secret weapon of habit formation. Repeating a behavior regularly trains your brain to expect and prepare for that action. This expectation makes it easier to maintain momentum and resist temptation. Priming your brain involves more than just creating good habits. It means embedding them so deeply that they become your default mode of operation. This deep embedding rewires your brain, creating mental circuits that support productivity, creativity, and emotional strength. The habits you choose shape the identity you embody. With every repeated action, your brain says, "This is who I am." This identity-driven approach fuels intrinsic motivation, making success a natural extension of your daily life. The formation of powerful habits requires intentional focus on triggers and rewards. Triggers cue your brain to initiate a behavior while rewards reinforce it. When you consciously design your environment and mindset to support positive triggers and meaningful rewards, you accelerate habit formation. This deliberate process primes your brain to seek out success habits, rewarding you with dopamine that fuels motivation and satisfaction. These rewards strengthen the neural connections, embedding new behaviors into your routine. This cycle turns your brain into an ally that supports your growth instead of resisting change. Your habits are the building blocks of your future self. They shape your mindset, energy, and actions, weaving together the fabric of your success. When you prime your brain through habit, you create a life where progress is automatic, setbacks are temporary, and potential is limitless. This transformation is not a sudden change, but a continuous evolution, powered by daily choices and persistent effort. You hold the power to build habits that elevate your mind, body, and spirit, creating a powerful feedback loop that drives success. The question is not if you can change, but how you will use your habits to prime your brain for the extraordinary life waiting for you. Your focus is the lens through which your brain filters every experience and decision. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Priming your brain for success means mastering the art of focus, training your mind to concentrate on what truly matters while blocking out distractions that dilute your power. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, stealing your mental energy and scattering your intentions. Your brain is wired to seek novelty, but this survival mechanism can trap you in cycles of distraction, leaving your goals out of reach. Regaining control over your focus is the foundation of mental clarity, emotional strength, and unstoppable drive. Focus is not just about avoiding distractions, it's about deliberately choosing where to direct your mental resources. Your brain has a limited capacity for attention, and every choice to focus or wander shapes your brain's wiring. When you consistently train your focus on meaningful tasks, your brain strengthens the networks that support sustained attention, problem solving, and creativity. This mental discipline rewires your brain, making it easier to enter states of deep concentration where your best work happens. This flow state is where time slows down, your ideas sharpen, and your energy multiplies. Priming your brain means cultivating these moments of flow as a natural part of your day. Distractions are not random. They hijack your brain's reward system by offering quick dopamine hits that feel good but ultimately drain your motivation. The instant gratification of checking your phone, scrolling social media, or switching tasks tricks your brain into trading long-term success for short-term pleasure. Priming your brain means rewiring this response. You build new neural pathways that resist the lure of distraction and instead reward sustained effort with deeper satisfaction and progress. This shift requires intentional practice where you notice distraction, gently bring your attention back, and celebrate the moments you reclaim focus. Each time you do this, your brain learns that focus is more rewarding than distraction. The power of focus is amplified by clarity of purpose. When your brain understands why a task matters, how it aligns with your values and goals, your motivation strengthens naturally. This clarity primes your brain to overcome fatigue, boredom, and resistance. You create a mental roadmap that guides your attention and energy with precision. Without this clarity, your mind wanders because it lacks direction, leaving you vulnerable to distraction and doubt. Purpose fuels focus, and focus fuels progress. Together, they form an unbreakable cycle that propels you forward, even when obstacles arise. Priming your brain through focus is also about setting boundaries, protecting your mental space from unnecessary noise and interruption. This means designing your environment and schedule to support uninterrupted work, minimizing multitasking, and honoring your natural rhythms. Your brain thrives on routine and predictability, which makes focus easier and more sustainable. Creating these boundaries is an act of respect for your mind's capacity and your dreams. It sends a powerful message that your time and attention are sacred resources, not to be squandered or stolen. The ability to focus is a skill, not a talent, and it can be strengthened like a muscle. When you prime your brain for focused attention, you unlock clarity, energy, and resilience. Your mind becomes a powerful tool that cuts through noise and distraction, directing your efforts toward what truly matters. This mastery of focus transforms overwhelm into progress, confusion into clarity, and hesitation into action. You are no longer a prisoner of scattered thoughts, but the architect of your mental landscape, primed to create the life you desire with unwavering concentration and fierce determination. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, shaping the neural landscape that guides every decision, feeling, and action. Priming your brain for success means mastering the quality of your thinking, intentionally choosing thoughts that empower, uplift, and propel you forward. The mind is a powerful filter, interpreting every experience through the lens of your beliefs and assumptions. When you allow negative, limiting, or fearful thoughts to dominate, your brain strengthens those patterns, reinforcing doubt and hesitation. But when you consciously cultivate positive, growth-focused thoughts, you rewire your brain to expect and create success. This mental shift is not wishful thinking. It is a neurological transformation that reshapes your identity and your future. Every thought you entertain rewires your brain's pathways. Your brain does not distinguish between imagined success and real success. It reacts to the intensity and consistency of your mental images and beliefs. Priming your brain means filling your mind with thoughts that align with your highest vision, turning those ideas into automatic, empowering patterns. This practice creates a fertile ground where confidence, creativity, and courage flourish naturally. Your brain begins to anticipate positive outcomes, reducing anxiety and fueling resilience. This positive feedback loop becomes the engine that drives your transformation, making success not just possible, but inevitable. Negative thoughts act like mental weeds, choking out your potential and draining your energy. They hijack your brain's emotional centers, triggering stress and self-doubt, which impair your decision-making and motivation. Priming your brain involves consciously uprooting these weeds, challenging self-defeating beliefs, reframing setbacks as opportunities, and refusing to entertain fear as the default narrative. This is not denial of reality, but mastery over your mental environment. By choosing thoughts that serve your growth, you release your brain from the chains of limitation. You build neural circuits that support optimism, persistence, and clarity, strengthening your mind's ability to navigate challenges with grace and strength. The practice of mindful thought selection is a daily act of self-leadership. It demands awareness, courage, and repetition. You become a vigilant guardian of your mind, noticing when negative patterns arise and shifting your focus to thoughts that empower. This discipline rewires your brain over time, creating lasting change that no external circumstance can undo. Your thoughts become the foundation of your emotional state, your energy levels, and your actions. When primed for success, your mind becomes a reservoir of strength, creativity, and unwavering belief in your ability to overcome. The power of your thoughts is amplified by your language, the words you use internally and externally to describe yourself and your journey. Language shapes thought, and thought shapes reality. Priming your brain means speaking to yourself with respect, encouragement, and clarity. It means crafting affirmations and intentions that align with your goals and values. Every positive word reinforces neural pathways that support confidence and determination. Your internal dialogue becomes a force field that shields you from doubt and fuels your forward motion. Mastering your thoughts is mastering your destiny. This mental priming transforms your brain into a powerful ally, aligning every part of you with the success you seek. It creates a mindset that sees obstacles as growth opportunities and setbacks as lessons. When your thoughts are clear, focused, and positive, your brain responds with increased energy, creativity, and resilience. This is how you prime your brain for success, not by chance, but by choice. The life you desire begins with the thoughts you nurture every day. Choose them wisely, for they hold the power to shape your future beyond anything you've imagined. Your emotions are the compass guiding your brain's decisions and behaviors. They fuel the intensity behind your actions and color every experience with meaning. Priming your brain for success means learning to master your emotional state, turning feelings from unpredictable storms into powerful allies. Emotions are not obstacles to overcome, but signals that reveal your inner landscape, your fears, hopes, and deepest desires. When you understand and harness your emotions, you unlock a reservoir of energy and clarity that transforms challenges into opportunities and setbacks into fuel for growth. Your brain is wired to prioritize emotional experiences. Emotions create lasting memories and shape your motivation far more than logic alone. Negative emotions like fear, anger, and doubt can hijack your focus, draining your energy and clouding your judgment. But positive emotions such as joy, gratitude, and confidence activate brain regions that enhance creativity, problem-solving, and resilience. Priming your brain means cultivating these positive emotional states intentionally, training your mind to seek and sustain feelings that support your goals. This emotional conditioning rewires your neural pathways, making optimism and courage your brain's natural default. Emotional mastery starts with awareness, recognizing your feelings without judgment or resistance. This awareness creates space between stimulus and reaction, giving you the power to choose your response. When you no longer react impulsively to negative emotions, you weaken their hold on your brain. Instead, you redirect your energy toward constructive actions that align with your vision. This practice rewires your brain's emotional circuitry, reducing stress and strengthening your ability to adapt. As you build this emotional resilience, your brain becomes a steady source of strength, ready to face uncertainty with calm and confidence. Priming your brain also means cultivating emotional triggers that anchor you to positive states. These triggers can be simple: a deep breath, a mental image, or a phrase that reconnects you to your purpose and power. Each time you use these anchors, you activate neural pathways associated with positive emotions, strengthening your brain's capacity to shift states quickly and effectively. This emotional agility is crucial in high-pressure moments when your ability to remain centered determines your success. Over time, these triggers become second nature, automatically guiding you toward emotional states that fuel productivity, creativity, and courage. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional tools for priming your brain. When you focus on what you appreciate, your brain releases chemicals that enhance mood and cognitive function. This shift in emotional state broadens your perspective, opening your mind to new possibilities and solutions. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice the positive aspects of your life and goals, increasing motivation and reducing anxiety. Priming your brain with gratitude builds a foundation of emotional strength that supports sustained effort and joy in the journey. Your emotions are not random waves crashing against your mind. They are signals you can harness to guide every step toward your success. When you prime your brain to master your emotions, you transform your inner world into a powerful source of energy, clarity, and resilience. This emotional strength amplifies your focus, sharpens your thoughts, and energizes your habits. It turns challenges into opportunities and fear into fuel. The emotional landscape you create is the foundation upon which your success is built. Choose to cultivate emotions that empower you, and your brain will become the unstoppable force driving your transformation forward. Your environment is more than just the space around you. It is a powerful architect of your brain's ability to succeed. Every sound, sight, and interaction shapes your neural pathways, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Priming your brain for success means taking control of your surroundings so they serve your goals, not sabotage them. A cluttered, chaotic, or toxic environment drains your mental energy and fuels distraction. But an environment designed to inspire focus, positivity, and growth primes your brain to perform at its highest level. This is not about perfection. It is about intentional choices that protect and nurture your mental landscape. The brain thrives in environments that support clarity and calm. When your surroundings are orderly and purposeful, your mind follows suit. Disorganization creates a constant low-level stress that fragments your attention and drains your willpower. You waste energy navigating distractions and unnecessary noise. Priming your brain means creating spaces that reduce mental clutter and enhance focus. This can be as simple as clearing your workspace, minimizing visual noise, and surrounding yourself with items that inspire and motivate you. These physical cues become reminders to your brain of the state you want to inhabit: focused, calm, and ready to act. Social environment plays an equally vital role in priming your brain. The people you surround yourself with influence your beliefs, attitudes, and energy. Negative, unsupportive relationships drain your motivation and distort your self-image. Positive, growth-oriented connections fuel your confidence and reinforce success-oriented habits. Your brain mirrors the attitudes and behaviors of those you spend the most time with. Choosing your social environment wisely is a strategic act of mental priming. It surrounds your brain with encouragement, accountability, and inspiration. This network becomes a powerful support system that strengthens your emotional resilience and sharpens your focus. Priming your brain also requires setting boundaries within your environment. This means protecting your time and energy from distractions and interruptions that scatter your attention. It means saying no to anything that pulls you away from your highest priorities. Boundaries create a safe container for your mental resources to flourish. They send a clear message to your brain: your focus is sacred, your goals are important, and you will defend them with discipline. This act of protection strengthens your brain's ability to maintain focus and resilience, even in the face of external pressure. Intentional rituals embedded in your environment further prime your brain for success. Morning routines, meditation corners, or dedicated workspaces send signals to your brain that it is time to engage in specific mental states. These consistent cues build strong neural connections that make it easier to enter focus, creativity, or calm on demand. Your brain learns to associate these rituals with productivity and success, reducing resistance and increasing motivation. Over time, these environmental anchors become automatic triggers that support sustained momentum. Your environment is the silent partner in your journey to success. When you prime it to reflect and reinforce your highest intentions, your brain adapts quickly, becoming sharper, more focused, and more resilient. Every element, physical space, social connections, boundaries, and rituals, combines to create a powerful ecosystem that nurtures your mental and emotional strength. This ecosystem supports you in moving through obstacles, sustaining motivation, and achieving breakthroughs. You have the power to shape this environment intentionally. When you do, you unlock your brain's full potential and set yourself on a path where success is not just possible, but inevitable. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, shaping the very structure of your brain and the life you build. Every thought you entertain sends a signal, strengthening neural pathways that determine your habits, beliefs, and actions. Priming your brain for success means learning to control this powerful inner dialogue, replacing doubt and fear with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Your mind cannot separate imagined events from real ones. It reacts to thoughts with the same intensity as actual experiences. This means every thought you feed your brain either strengthens your path to success or builds walls that block it. The brain's plasticity is its greatest gift. It can change, adapt, and grow in response to repeated thought patterns. When you consistently focus on negativity or self-limiting beliefs, you create hardened neural circuits that reinforce failure and fear. But when you choose to focus on positive, empowering thoughts, you rewire your brain for possibility and courage. This is not about denying reality or forcing optimism. It is about directing your mind's energy toward thoughts that serve your highest good and fuel your forward momentum. This mental discipline rewires your brain's default mode from doubt to determination. Language plays a crucial role in shaping these thought patterns. The words you use silently, the affirmations you repeat in your mind, create emotional and chemical changes in your brain. Positive self-talk stimulates areas responsible for motivation and reward, releasing dopamine and serotonin that boost mood and performance. Negative self-talk triggers stress responses, flooding your brain with cortisol that hinders focus and creativity. Priming your brain means becoming aware of this internal language and deliberately choosing words that empower rather than diminish you. This shift creates an internal climate where confidence flourishes and obstacles shrink. Focus is the battlefield where success is won or lost. Your brain's attention is limited, and what you focus on grows stronger. When your thoughts are scattered or consumed by fear, you waste precious energy and time. But when you train your mind to focus on what matters, your goals, your strengths, your next steps, you build momentum that propels you forward. Priming your brain for success is about honing this focus through mindfulness, intentional thinking, and mental rehearsal. Rehearsing success in your mind, vividly imagining the actions and emotions tied to achievement, creates neural blueprints that guide real-life performance.
Your inner dialogue is the lens through which you interpret every challenge and opportunity.
By priming your brain to cultivate thoughts of resilience and growth, you transform obstacles into lessons and failures into feedback. This mindset shifts your brain from reactive to proactive, from victim to creator. You gain the ability to choose responses that align with your vision, even under pressure. This mental strength is the foundation of lasting success because it keeps you anchored in purpose when distractions and doubts arise. Your thoughts have the power to build or break the future you desire. When you prime your brain with clarity, positivity, and unwavering focus, you create an unstoppable force that shapes your actions and results. The mind you nurture today becomes the engine of your transformation tomorrow. Choose to feed it with thoughts that elevate, inspire, and propel you toward your greatest potential. In this choice lies your power, your ability to rewrite your brain's story and claim the success that is waiting for you. Your emotions are the language of your brain, powerful signals that shape your reality more than you realize. They guide your decisions, influence your actions, and color every moment of your life. To prime your brain for success, you must learn to understand and master your emotional world. This does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It means recognizing how emotions influence your thoughts and behaviors, then choosing to cultivate feelings that fuel growth, courage, and persistence. When you harness your emotional energy intentionally, you transform your brain into a magnet for success. Emotions create chemical reactions in your brain that impact your mental and physical state. Positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and excitement release dopamine and endorphins, chemicals that enhance creativity, focus, and resilience. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, or despair flood your brain with stress hormones that narrow your thinking, cloud judgment, and erode motivation. Priming your brain for success requires training yourself to shift from reactive emotional patterns toward proactive emotional choices. This shift is a skill, one that rewires your brain to seek feelings that support your goals and well-being. This process begins with awareness. Most people live on autopilot, swept away by emotions they do not fully understand or control. When you pause to observe your emotional state, you create a space between feeling and reaction. This space is your power. In that moment, you can choose how to respond rather than being driven by impulse or old habits.